Most guys who go to the gym want to build an aesthetic physique, but they go with the wrong goal in mind. They go to the gym with the intention to lift heavy and build as much muscle as possible, and think they're somehow going to end up with an aesthetic physique. And that's exactly why majority of gym goers have a decent amount of muscle, but still look completely average. They do not stand out in a crowd. They still have too much body fat, and their physique never really looks elite. This is one of the most common mistakes I see with people who've been going to the gym or more. They've been consistent, but they're still not happy with the way their physique looks. Is because building an aesthetic physique isn't about just doing the compound lifts and putting on size. It's about proportion, conditioning, and presence, and making sure when we are training, we have that in mind, and our habits and our routine and diet align with that goal. And I'm going to break down exactly what you need to understand about creating the aesthetic physique and what you can do to actually make sure it is inevitable regardless of your genetics. When I started working out, I had terrible genetics. I was 6'1", 135 pounds, skinny fat. My hips were like 36 inches and I had a gut with no arms, no chest. And even after 6 months of lifting, I'll put up a photo here, I still had my hips jawed out, my arms were tiny, and I had no delts. I was not destined to build an aesthetic physique, but I was still able to do it. Your genetics are not stopping you from having a top 1% physique. It's all about your execution of your training and diet. First thing you need to understand is our bodies are all built differently, but there is two main types of physiques. There is torso-dominant physiques and limb-dominant physiques. Limb-dominant physiques are going to have well-developed arms, shoulders, and legs genetically. You're going to put on more muscle there, but you're also going to have a very hard time or more difficult time connecting to your chest, feeling your back when you're training. Why? Because your arms and delts are taking over. And then we have torso-dominant guys, and this was me when I first started lifting. Well, it still is me genetically. My chest and back grow easily, but my arms and delts are always lagging behind. And I made a massive mistake in my first 4 years of lifting. I went on a push-pull leg split. And what do you do in a push-pull leg split? You start it with your chest, then your shoulders, then your triceps. You do your back, then you do your biceps. And I noticed my physique was just looking off. I was looking super wide, super thick from the side. My chest and back were massive, but my arms were tiny and always lagging behind. It didn't matter how much stronger I got, how much energy I put onto those lifts. I was prioritizing the wrong muscle groups at the wrong time and had the wrong system in place. And it took me way too long to realize that you do not need to prescribe to the normal fitness advice, and you need to figure out exactly what works for you. And I'm going to show you exactly how to determine what type of physique you have and how to build a routine and system around this so you can build the best, most aesthetic physique possible with your given cards, your genetics, your frame, whatever it may be. And I made the exact same mistake a lot of you guys are making right now. And I know this because I talk on calls with guys who are trying to get in shape all the time, trying to build the elite aesthetic physique. And there's just a mismatch between what they're doing and where they're trying to go. We're all told we're supposed to do squat, do bench, do deadlifts, do these exercises because those are the kings, those are the compound movements. But in reality, that is the reason our physique is looking off. Have you ever seen those physiques where the guys do tons of squats, tons of Bulgarian split squats? They have massive legs and no upper body. They could weigh the exact same amount. Two guys could weigh 180 pounds. One guy who focuses on all these leg movements, no upper body movements, or when he does them, he sees them as accessory movements. His bicep curls are just an add-on to his bench press to help him bench more. And then you have the guy who doesn't squat, doesn't bench, doesn't do deadlifts, focuses on strictly building aesthetics, weighs the exact same amount of the same body fat, but looks 10 times more jacked, 10 times more aesthetic, and is 10 times more confident. When you are building an aesthetic physique and that is your goal, you have to be precise. You have to actually be thinking and be cerebral about the actions you are taking on a daily basis if you want to end up with a good physique. If you're okay with having the T-Rex physique, please stick to the compounds. Keep doing the same thing over and over again and not getting the results you want. But the first thing you need to be doing is really analyzing your physique, seeing where you genetically feel muscles better. As I said earlier, my chest and back grew easily because I was able to connect to them really easy, but my arms took me forever to be able to connect to them properly. And you can do this regardless of how long you've been training. You will start to notice things as you're training. So every time you go to the gym and you train, think about how much you feel the connection to the muscle. What muscles don't really get the pump the same way the other ones do. This will give you a huge insight into which muscle groups you genetically are more able to grow. The second thing you need to do is get lean. You need to reveal what your physique truly looks like and see what your true baseline is. When you have 10, 15 pounds of fat covering your physique, you have no idea. Your arms could look massive, but you could just be storing fat in that region. And in reality, your 16-inch arms are actually 14 inches when they're bone peeled and shredded. Anything below 12% body fat is your true canvas that you are going to build upon. You're going to see your real proportions, your real shape, what muscle groups you truly need to train. Now you pair this with which muscle groups genetically are more inclined to grow, and now you know what muscle groups you need to be prioritizing in your training. And the way we're going to prioritize these is building our sessions around those by putting, for example, if you need to progress your arms, you're going to have an arm day, or you're going to put them at the beginning of your session. Who cares if you have to train chest and back after? You want to grow your arms more anyway. Your chest and back are still going to grow if you train them later in the session and push yourself. And when we're prioritizing these muscle groups, I don't mean just doing more. Don't just do more sets, add in an extra day. I mean, first start off with small changes. Put them at the beginning of your session. Okay, you do that for 3 months, you don't see the progress you want to do. Okay, now maybe add in a whole day just for them so you can give them full energy. The muscle groups you probably have that are overdeveloped or overpowering your physique, making it look mismatched, unbalanced, are the ones you like training. Because the ones you like training, you have no problem doing more. But what you need to start doing is start making yourself enjoy the muscle groups you don't like training, because those are going to be the underdeveloped ones. So the way you start actually enjoying them is getting good at them. That is the only way you're going to enjoy training that muscle group. If it's your legs, find a way to train your legs that you actually enjoy. And if you guys want a blueprint of the way I built my aesthetic physique and the one that I think fits majority of people that only needs about 4 hours per week, follow me on Instagram at Brasai, DM me the word routine. I'll send you over the full blueprint. But you need to create a routine that you actually enjoy doing, because the more you enjoy training and the actual routine you're doing, the system you have in place, the more effort you're going to put in every session, and that is going to lead to exponential progress. If you were going there, going through the motions, chatting to people at the water fountain, going on your phone in between sets, your mind's drifting away thinking about this weekend's plans, you're not going to see as good progress as you want, because you're not in it. You don't actually want it. You're not being cerebral, as I mentioned earlier. And the truth is, these imbalances are just going to get worse over time. You also need to start training the muscle groups that everyone else thinks is weird to train in public. You need to train your neck. You need to get better hip mobility. You need to be more flexible. You need to allow your body to move more fluidly. Because when you have these imbalances, you're going to start realizing that you've been training your chest so much and maybe ignoring your back. Now your shoulders are rolled forward and you have weird neck posture. It's really important to know that your posture and your presence and the way you carry yourself with your shoulders back, your chest up, a well-developed neck, thick traps is going to look 10 times more impressive and give you way more presence and aura when you walk in a room compared to just being massive. You want your physique to give off intention. You want it to look like it was built with a meaning behind it. You are actually paying attention to what you're doing, not just going in the gym, moving weights from A to B because someone told you that's what you're supposed to do. And literally just doing these simple things. Paying attention and being cerebral when you train, noticing which parts of your body grow better than others, getting lean for once and actually seeing what your frame looks like, prioritizing your weak muscle groups and enjoy training them, focusing on the muscle groups that everyone else neglects, rear delts, neck, forearms, is what separates the 1% elite physiques that stand out in every single room they walk into compared to 99% of gym goers who look dead average, who have a good amount of muscle, but do not look impressive whatsoever because they have too much fat and they have muscle in all the wrong places.